Hey everybody, we're super excited to do another Facebook Live. We're kind of ramping up all the details of the Twin Cities Live Cupid's Couple Contest. Last week we selected the rings, which was really fun, and this week we're talking invitations. There's 3 amazing designs that Epitome Papers did for us, so make sure that you go out and vote at twincitieslive.com. But we wanted to just chat more about trends in general, and so we're here live from Epitome Papers.
Yeah.
Thanks for having us.
Oh, of course. Always love having you guys.
Well, we love talking stationery, so it's
nice.
like one of our favorite pieces. So,
and you guys had so much fun at the Twin Cities Live talking about the stationery. That was such a great clip.
It's like, there's so many people that are doing things online now, and just the difference in cardstock, and we have some samples here, but it's just they don't realize that when they're doing them online, the paper quality is just not there.
Yeah, you can never really get a sense of like what you're going to be getting, like how is this foiling going to look with this kind of paper, how's it going to feel?
Because the photography doesn't necessarily give it justice.
Yeah.
And I think that's the thing too. One of the fun things we're doing, if you didn't get a chance to see Twin Cities Live, you can actually go out to the gallery and actually see the 3 invitation sets, which is really cool. Again, the same sort of thing. You can actually see it in person, which is really neat.
Yeah, no, it's a lot of fun. But yeah.
What I'm really excited about, and I would say the last 5 years, just the materials have really expanded. It's not just, you just don't have paper invitations anymore.
Oh no,
you can
not
do anything.
anymore.
So,
this year there's been a lot of wood-based invitations where it's just a thin piece of wood, and then you can even do like a backer of the paper, which is really nice.
Really nice.
Yeah, so that's been, I've been noticing that's been really gaining in popularity.
That's really cool.
Well, and one of the invitations that we had with Twin Cities Live was is that like a wood or a cork back?
It's a cork.
That's what
so
I
it's
thought.
a cork back with a little bit of gold foiling on it.
That's what I thought, because I said the texture was
fabulous.
just kind of, it felt more like cork than wood. So.
Yeah, when we found that paper, it was
Is
like,
cork
oh my
wood
god.
or
Cork is a wood.
Cork? Okay.
Yeah.
I'm not a lumberjack.
Yeah.
So what are the other fun trends that you're seeing?
Yeah, die cut has definitely been something that's been gaining in popularity of playing with the shape.
That's super cool.
This is a really fun holiday card that someone did.
Let's see the back on that too, because that's really cool. That's
So
awesome.
there's really nice patterns that you can play with. Even with the die cut, you can keep it simple. Like you can do a nice border, kind of have a lace around the edge, and still have it one sheet with the nice information.
I know photographers go crazy this time of the year.
Yes.
Because everybody, all the people that got married, they want to have their pictures on their Christmas cards.
Yes.
And so that's great. Can you give us kind of like a timeline of if you're going to do laser cut, how far in advance you should see if you do engraved or embossed?
Is there a difference based on the type of process?
Well, as always, digital is always fastest. Then I think next it goes to foiling, which normally takes a little bit more time. But mostly, if you're doing like engraving, letterpress, you definitely want to add a week or 2 to your timeline. Especially if it's during the holidays or during a busier season, because they have to make the plates for the engraving and set the type for the letterpress, so that adds a little bit more time.
So typically what do you suggest for people just in general for planning and booking and ordering their stationery?
Yeah, well you want it to send out about 6 to 8 weeks before your date, 8 to 10 weeks for destination weddings, so that they have a little bit of time to look at hotels and kind of where they need to go. So then probably I would say like 2 to 3 months beforehand, if a little bit more, to give yourself time to kind of like look at your options. Then you can do those higher end print options as well.
Okay,
So we've seen gold coming back in.
Yes, rose gold.
But
has
what
been
about
heavy.
copper?
Copper is making it not as much.
Not yet?
Rose gold has been the
Okay.
big thing this year.
Well, we're going to push copper.
Oh
Because we've
Yeah, it
done
does
the
have
rose
that
gold,
big- yes,
right? So
yeah,
we're
that's
going to move
been
on to
everywhere.
copper now.
But yeah, no, there's definitely
cool.
some great options with copper.
And what
Which is
about
a
like
good
that's
example
really
here.
like the paper, the weights, the
Yeah.
feels? There's so many different types, and I know
Oh,
that
yeah.
letterpress you have to have.
Yeah,
a pretty thick
letterpress
board.
it's always best with a cotton paper, because then you get that nice impression.
Right.
It looks really nice, and it doesn't completely go through the back depending on the weight. Because the thicker you go, the less of an imprint there'll be on the back.
Sure.
So it's kind of taking that into consideration if you're doing a letterpress card.
Sure.
But yeah, we can do a lot of different paper options. So this is kind of a little list from one of the companies we work with, Carlson Craft. They do Tog ink, which is really fun because you can make your own invitation, and it's still in a pretty good price range.
Nice.
So you can kind of look at our invitations and say, oh, I really like this, but I want to do the die cut. They're able to kind of like take ideas and put it together.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's
So
really
these
great.
are kind of like little examples of like, here's how they combine digital and foil. Here's how they just do thermography and foil.
Oh, that's cool.
So kind of different options. And then again, there's the laser cut.
Okay,
Yeah,
so look,
digital.
look at the laser cut on that. That is really, really
It's
Just
really
Can you zoom in on that?
cool. Can we bring it closer to you?
we'll be like a boomerang and go back and forth. But yeah,
That's
they can do a lot
really
of different
great.
borders as well and kind of do that really nice impression
that's
where
really
it's
cool.
see-through. So with that, they have a lot of different paper options and they're adding more every week.
Sure.
So like they have the standard kind of a nice basic white smooth, and then they can do like a really nice texture.
Oh, that's pretty.
And then they get
Ooh,
into the shimmer
shimmers,
papers,
yeah.
which has been something else we've been noticing is kind of gaining traction. A lot of our vendors are carrying like a really nice shimmery paper.
And you can generally do that with an envelope too, then
Yep.
as well.
Yeah. So normally, and this actually, it looks really fun when you print a photo. We've had a few holiday
Kind of like those,
samples.
those like that metallic
yeah, the
thing
photo still
photographers
shows
are
up really
doing,
nice.
which is really cool.
But
Depending
has
on
that
the lighting
shimmer.
and how it refracts off.
Yeah, definitely depending on what paper color for
Yeah.
sure. But they have really fun options.
Very cool.
But,
So
yeah,
I would imagine you get lots of questions from couples that have to figure out the wording because they have a blended family or they have different things that they want to incorporate. Used to be kind of simple. And now
it's large.
it becomes a little bit more complicated. And I would imagine that for a lot of people, they just don't know where to even start with the wording.
Yep.
So it's great to have an advocate that can walk them through.
Yes.
Here are the different options that you have because there are a range of options, and you just have to find the right one that's right
and we're
for
always
you.
happy to help. Like even if someone isn't doing their invitations with us and they're just setting something up and they're like, "What should I do for wording?" We're always happy to sit down and talk with you and kind of go over like, okay, what family members do you want highlighted and things like that.
That's really great.
Yeah, and we're happy to do it over the phone
That's
as
really
well.
cool.
That's a huge service
Oh, yes.
for people.
Yeah, because invitations can be really intimidating, and like it's a lot of little cards, but we can kind of walk you through the whole process because we want it to be easy.
So typically, let's say we call and set an appointment and say we want to come and start kind of the invitation process. How does that work with Epitome?
Yeah, so your first consultation is complimentary. So you come in and we sit down with you, hear about your story, because the invitation is the first thing your guests will see. So we want it to be something that tells your story. So we hear about how you guys met, your favorite colors, kind of what you're looking for with your wedding, what you're looking for with your invitation. And then we kind of start either going through our sample boxes where people can go through and see work that we've done previously, kind of get some
I'm sure
ideas.
they like that.
Yes, yeah. Again, having that physical ability to go through and look at it. And then we have the standard books, the wedding books, where like Mom did back in the day.
Yeah.
She picked out her
She went through the
invitations
books.
from a book. So we do that as well. So we kind of pick and choose. So if they're leaning more towards custom, we'll kind of look at the samples and like be like, okay, well you like this part, and this part. Let's see how we can combine some ideas together for you.
Oh, that's cool.
Or we can just do a straight invitation and keep it traditional. And so the first consultation is a lot of brainstorming, finding the papers. Once we've settled on something or an idea, then we get to the proof stage.
Okay.
So then that normally takes about a week to 2 weeks, depending on complicity. Like sometimes it could be a lot faster, sometimes it could be slower depending on how many pieces you have. So then we do a proof stage where we email that to you, and then they get to kind of say, no, I'd like this, I'd like this.
Double check all
Yes,
this.
yeah, double check all the spelling. It's very important to take the time.
And the date.
Have your brother read it, have your mom read it, have everybody read it to make sure it's correct. And then once it's approved, we send it off to print.
Sure.
So we're able to do multiple consultations within that time, because sometimes it does take a few more to like, okay, we've picked our paper, but I need to go back and like see exactly how I want to have it written, or oh, I don't have all the addresses yet, and so we kind of help through that process as well.
I think it would be fun to, you know, most people, they include, if you're invited to the rehearsal dinner, it's like one of the cards that are slipped into the envelope. It would be kind of fun actually to have a separate invitation, but the same style, but a separate invitation that goes out. Just kind of
extra special.
We've done that before. Like for instance, one this summer, a woman was having a boat party. So we did a really nice invitation and then a vellum piece on top that had a cute little boat icon, and then that invitation.
Oh, super fun.
Yeah, and so then we always are willing to help with assembly as well. So for
that's
things
a huge
like
job.
That. Oh yes, yeah.
People don't realize how much goes into assembling an invitation.
Yes.
Trust me, we've done lots.
Yes.
Tying bows is not easy.
Lots of tying bows. But we're always happy to help with assembly. We can even stuff, seal, and mail it for you. So,
and you can do calligraphy.
And Shannon Chrissy, our amazing designer, does hand calligraphy as well.
Like, that's so worth it. Like, everybody should do that.
Beautiful.
Yes, she'll be doing the calligraphy for the invites for the Twin Cities Live wedding.
And she painted that one?
Yep, and she painted the watercolor on that.
I think that's just amazing.
Yes.
And watercolor seems to be a trend that I'm starting to see.
Yeah, it's kind of popping up
right
again.
now, which is really cool.
We've had a lot of people ask about that. Yes.
Flowers on invitations again, that's very
interesting. Motif.
Yeah, and one thing I like to tell our brides is like, well, do you know what flowers you want for your wedding? Let's have them in your invitation.
I love that. Give a little sneak peek to the wedding.
Without telling the whole story.
Yes, yeah.
So if somebody wanted calligraphy, how long does that process take? Because you have to build factor that in.
2 weeks.
Process. 2
Shannon
weeks.
says in the background. So about 2
Give
weeks.
Shannon 3 weeks.
Yes, give time. If you have a very large wedding,
be nice to Shannon.
Be sure to give a little bit of time because she handwrites them.
I know, every single one. She's done that for a wedding that we were involved in, so.
It's such an art form.
Yes.
But it's such a huge impact when your guest sees that envelope in the mail. It's unlike any other piece of mail they've ever received.
Well, we always get so much like spam mail and so much junk and so much digital stuff. Like getting that really nice envelope in the mail, you kind of like get excited.
You feel extra special. You do when somebody's taken the time to do that. And how much is it on average, kind of for?
It's
per
about
envelope?
$3 an envelope.
Okay, so well worth it.
Yeah, it's really not that bad.
Yeah.
So definitely worth it. Because then you get to do fun ink colors.
Exactly.
You kind of play with the
you can really
envelope.
play.
Sometimes I wonder, I see some of them sometimes and they're like, how does the post office read?
They actually love us.
Really?
The Excelsior Post Office, they say we're their favorite because they love seeing the gorgeous envelopes instead of the basic mail.
Yeah.
They're always like, oh,
yay! This is fun. That's awesome. Are there any other trends that you want to share that you're seeing or kind of popping up, or some new stuff that maybe you're working on?
Well, kind of something consistent that's been really popular has been our illustrated maps. So kind of going back again to telling the story of the couple. And that's been something in shows like Unveiled that we did that we've noticed a lot of people have been gravitating towards.
Cool.
Because we do illustrated maps that kind of where you could have, if you met in a college, we could have the little college symbol there.
So cool.
And just kind of like a map of your story.
Oh, that's really neat.
Which is
fun.
really,
I love
really
that.
cute.
Well, we won't let anybody else do that.
Well, there's a lot of illustrators out there that do that. They can do it.
No, they're not allowed to. They
Well, we do watercolor ones too,
Yes,
so it could
that's
be a combo.
That's really cool.
No, that was beautiful. So.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much.
Oh,
This was really fun and
course.
really informative, and everybody's got to come out to Excelsior and check out Epitome Papers. It's just a really great boutique. So
it's right off of Highway 7, and what is the off-road here?
So you take Highway 7 and you would basically get on Oak. And then Water Street is our
Street, right?
Yep.
And this is the historic part.
Yes. Yeah, and this is the time to do it too, with the Christmas market going
little
on,
holiday
and
shopping.
there's sleigh rides, and there's gonna be a chilly dinner this weekend,
so fun.
and so lots of.
It's just a great community. It's fun.
Yeah, it's a good community. To be
All right.
Cool.
Well, we will see you guys. Tune in next week because we'll find out which invitation won. Definitely vote for the Woodland Forest. We're pushing that one. We love that one.
The cork paper.
And then next week we'll be selecting the bridal gowns. So we'll be headed to Posh Bridal Couture in Wayzata, and so definitely follow along on our adventures.